Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Narayana Montufar. I am a writer, author, and artist who finds inspiration in the symbolic language of astrology. I am here to deliver your astrological forecast for the week of February 3rd to February 9th. Last week, we talked about the new moon in Aquarius being a lucky moment to set intentions and to think about how we are envisioning ourselves moving from old cycles into new cycles. So energies are growing. The moon is growing in light. We also talked about a stellium of planets in Pisces, which is a zodiac sign that brings vision. Well, those energies are going to get a little bit more magnified this week as the moon grows in light and begins accelerating the energy. So when the moon, after the new moon, we always see an increasing in energy because the moon brings things to fruition. So we are hitting kind of like a point around that journey. The truth is that there are a couple of intense aspects this week, especially at the beginning of the week. I am seeing Monday and Wednesday being a little intense. By the way, I am adding daily forecasts now, just little snippets for every single day in my Blue Sky and my Threads. If you want to follow me on those social media accounts for that. But here I'm giving you kind of like an overall forecast for the week. And so this week has kind of like intense aspects, especially on Monday and Wednesday, because on Monday we have retrograde Mars squaring Chiron, and that could bring a little bit of like a painful moment, something that just feels like an insecurity or like an old wound opening up, or maybe a pattern that repeats around failure or not belonging, or something really, really intense could be sparked within us on Monday. So we have to move carefully. I invite you to watch my video about Chiron from last year, and that will be able to give you a little bit more guidance. But that is actually one of the last really intense aspects of Mars retrograde. So I invite you to really see what comes up for you on Monday. If something bothers you, take a deeper look. If an insecurity gets reawakened, take a deeper look around why it's bothering you. On Wednesday, we also have the quarter moon phase. As the moon enters Taurus, it is going to challenge the Aquarius sun. So even though we planted seeds for our future last week, we might feel like something might not pan out as we thought it would, or maybe we'll have doubts around our intentions. Quarter moons are times of mini crises, but that doesn't mean that you should be deterred from working on your intentions. In fact, you are being invited to double down on your efforts. This is not a time to give up. And you'll have to really change your mindset. The Taurus moon is going to tell you maybe this is wrong, maybe this needs some fixing, maybe this needs for you to rethink your goals. Well, while there's a lot of mental energy activated because Mercury is also in Aquarius, this combination really asks us to connect with our bodies, to ground those ideas, to sit down and really work with that mind, body, spirit connection. That is what is going to help you. Taurus is the sign of the body, is the zodiac sign that rules the five senses. We are also starting to receive activations of Uranus. More on that. Well, Uranus came out of retrograde last week, and it's going to be activated for many days to come. So I invite you to really bring that in, really ground your thoughts. If you are all up in your head this week, you might tell yourself stories that are not even true. And I'll tell you why. So it's important to work with your body, especially on Wednesday, that the moon brings that like clash, that like mini crisis. And you have so much to look forward to, really. Like Jupiter comes out of retrograde on Tuesday. So there is that optimism in the air. If you look for it, you will find it. Jupiter is by far the biggest planet in the solar system. Its mass is huge, and the fact that it is stationing direct after being retrograde since October of 2024 means that you are starting to feel more optimistic, even though there are these kind of little things. When you look at the big picture, you are able to see the path forward. You can get access to that. Journaling, brainstorming, learning, that is what is going to help. Besides of connecting with your body, like I said, Jupiter is in Gemini, and Jupiter is no longer squaring Saturn, which means that by doing the Gemini things, which is writing, learning, absorbing information, doing research, you will get those out of the box solutions to your problems or whatever you're trying to figure out. Thursday, actually, is when you might be feeling this the most, because on Thursdays are ruled by Jupiter, and Thursday feels like a much brighter, a lighter day. Thursday doesn't really have any intense astrological aspects, and the moon will be in Gemini, activating Jupiter. So you can really access this positive mindset that will help you expand and grow on Thursday. Thursday is a great day to also get together with people. Jupiter likes to bring people together. And I like this energy for inviting and spending time with people to come into your orbit that are mind expansive, that might challenge you a little bit, that might challenge your mind, but that will help you grow, that have ideas that are mentally stimulating. This week is very, very mentally stimulating. Friday brings a really intense aspect, and this is why I was telling you that if you get yourself like too out there in your insecurities, it might ruin a good thing, because the moon is going to square Neptune on Friday. And as we enter Friday, actually, kind of like the night between Thursday, even though Thursday is good, between Thursday and Friday, there are a lot of intense aspects. If you didn't get a good night's sleep, you might be like telling yourself stories and seeing things that are not real, because activations of Neptune, when the moon squares Neptune especially, we we can give into paranoia and delusion and fantasy and illusion, or you might just want to check out. So stay positive. You will have that opportunity as long as you stay grounded in your body with meditation, with breath work, however you stay grounded, and are aware that some of the lunar aspects are going to challenge your intentions from last week, but that doesn't mean that your intentions aren't going to work. You're just being challenged, and that means that you should continue on your goals and on whatever you started last week. One of my favorite aspects this week is that the Sun and Mercury will form a Cassimi very early Sunday morning. So this means that on Saturday and Sunday, anytime around the weekend, you could really get an aha moment, right? Like you're being challenged a little bit to like think outside the box. And if you put in the effort and stay optimistic, all of a sudden, bam, there is the magic moment, the aha moment, that epiphany. All of a sudden, you're like, how come I didn't think about this before? And this doesn't necessarily have to be about the future, it could also be about your past. Cassimi is when Mercury is in the heart of the sun. That's what it means. So, solar and communication energies come together, they merge. So we get a lot of information regarding something important in our lives. Set time aside to brainstorm, write, talk, share information. Aquarius is a zodiac sign of the higher mind. We're in Aquarius season. We are working with the mind and we're working with transforming the way we think. That is kind of like the overarching theme of Aquarius now with Pluto being there. And lastly, my favorite, possibly favorite aspect of the entire winter, I will say it like that, is that the North Node of the moon, which creates eclipses and that depicts how we are all growing collectively, is going to sit at 27 degrees of Pisces. The North Node of the moon entered Pisces on January 11th. But now it is sitting at a place in the sky that is very special. 27 degrees of Pisces is the degree of Venus's exaltation. And even though Venus is now in Aries, Venus entered Aries on February 4th, actually, the day that Jupiter goes direct. I just feel like from now all the way to mid-April, so many new romances, so many new couples will be birthed. This is pretty rare. For the North Node of the moon to be sitting at 27 degrees of Pisces, this hasn't occurred in about 18 years. This is like a really special, unique moment. And Venus is not in Pisces anymore, but it will return to Pisces. And I have more information around that later on. Normally, Venus passes through this degree, this like very special place in the sky, just once a year. But due to its retrograde motion, which begins on March 1st, actually, Venus is going to cross these 27 degrees of Pisces 3 times this year. So even though Venus is going to go retrograde pretty soon, I feel like so many of us that are looking for a new partner, a new boyfriend, of friendships, or just connection. That's what Pisces does. It connects people. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter in traditional astrology. And it likes to bring people together. It likes to have another person. The animal sign for Pisces is two fish swimming in opposite directions. It's a dual sign. So I like this. I like this aspect. And because the North Node brings a slow moving energy, starting this Sunday on February 9th, all the way to April 17th, destiny is at play. I feel like a lot of people will find their significant others. They'll have this destined meetings. I love this. If you are interested in finding a partner, finding friendships, finding connection, or even finding a hobby, finding a vision like we talked about last week as well, this is one of my favorite aspects of the entire winter. So I leave you with that. And next week, we will talk about the full moon. There is a full moon coming up, the full moon in Leo, which is looks pretty intense. We'll talk about Uranus a little deeper, which is highlighted by the Leo full moon, and I will give you tips regarding the astrology of next week. Thank you for being here, and if you want to connect with me at a deeper level, all the links are below. I hope to see you soon, and take care. Bye bye.